Join me, Adam Fleming.
And me, Chris Mason, for our podcast, Newscast.
As we tear through the biggest news headlines of the day.
Yeah, we're not shutting down the whole economy, obviously, again, so it's nothing like what we saw during the pandemic.
We also have loads of special guests joining the podcast
to help us understand what's really going on.
And there's no doubt about the constant media headlines have been driving people to think more about their finances.
Go behind the headline hype with our podcast every weekday. Newscast. Listen on BBC Sounds.
You can't drive into Hassan from here because there's a front line in the way.
If we look at the number of days lost compared to the 1970s, this year's spike is tiny.
President Putin chose to start the war and release the evil.
This is gang territory in Port-au-Prince.
Rush hours are peak time for the kidnappers.
The BBC News Channel, more than just the headlines.
Are you a raver?
Do I look like a raver?
I've got bass in a backpack. This is amazing.
Dancing for like 4 or 5 hours of a gig, you could generate about 800 kilowatt hours of thermal energy. So that's a lot of energy.
Right, so shall we give it a taste? And it's my favourite.
We're really talking to the plants, and they're telling us how happy they are.
It can fly, but it can also float on water.
The bots kick off with some swift striking.
Oh my God, that came by quick.
It's all about augmented reality.
Useful, then. Useful.
I scroll through the options with my finger here. Solar system, let's give that one a go. Totally and utterly immersed in another world there.
We've got to consider all of these things if we're going to avoid an apocalyptic fate. But also excited.
The police have found us. I can't believe I'm now wanting to run away from the police.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Your Tech Update. Click Saturday at 12:30 on the BBC News Channel.
Be ready. Change can happen in an instant. Check on the BBC Weather app.
Download the BBC News app now and get the latest headlines as they happen. Personalise your app to learn more about the stories you care about and watch BBC News live wherever you are. Stay up to date, whatever you're up to. Download the BBC News app.
Welcome to Newsday. Reporting live from Singapore, I'm Karishma Vaswani. The headlines. The US Secretary of State says Israel must resolve the conflict with the Palestinians, underlining Washington's support for a two-state solution. Security has been stepped up in Pakistan after at least 59 people were killed in a bomb attack on a mosque in Peshawar.
People here, some of them have severe burns, others have got broken bones from falling rubble. While the number of people coming in still keeps rising, the death toll too has been going up.
Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has applied for a tourist visa to allow him to extend his stay in the US. Former New Zealand rugby international Campbell Johnston has become the first all-black to publicly announce he's gay. And tributes are paid to Motown legend Barrett Strong, who has died at the age of 81.
Live from our studio in Singapore. This is BBC News. It's Newsday.
Hello and welcome to the programme. We start the show for you in the Middle East, where the US Secretary of State has been holding discussions to try to resolve the escalating crisis there. Antony Blinken said that urgent steps are needed to restore calm between Israelis and Palestinians following days of rising violence. He travelled to Jerusalem for talks with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He'll meet the Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas later. Our Middle East correspondent Tom Bateman reports.
In Jerusalem, the wreckage is spreading, and another generation grows up in its wake. Israel's new far-right police minister is vowing to step up home demolitions of Palestinian attackers and their families. Ratib's home in occupied